Got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers.
That's the song.
Got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers.
But I showed it to Eliam because he loves his Vans. But he also, like, his mom told him the other day, like, don't fuck up your indoor shoes. Don't do it. And I pick him up that day from school, and the dude just reeks of, like, sod. You know that smell that fresh sod has? Also the same smell that mud has, like, after it's rained and kids have been playing up in it and mushing in it. And he just reeks of that. His shoes are ruined. And I'm just like, dude.
Of course he didn't give a fuck. Why would he?
Well, he gave a fuck afterward, but he just doesn't think about it because he's a kid. But
everybody else is doing it, and I'm sure everybody else is doing it in his mind. He's like, well, it'll wash off.
Yeah.
It'll probably wipe right off. Everybody else is doing it. So he jumps right in, then finds out. Then you're all upset with him, and he realizes, oh, shit, it don't wipe right off? Fuck.
It's true. But we had already planned to go get some new Vans. Those were he was really outgrowing because they grow like so goddamn much. So you got to throw shoes on them all the time. But we
talking about children?
Yeah.
Children grow? Yeah, I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah. It's amazing.
When you vaccinate them.
Did you say throw shoes at him?
Yeah, and throw some more shoes at him. You know, as punishment for getting his other ones dirty.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Just being clear.
Hell yeah.
But he got a new pair, and
Steel-toed.
we were very, very clear on how to keep these Vans a little bit more clean, a little bit more presentable. Jesus.
Did you touch it?
No.
Did it hit you?
No, it didn't hit me. It just scared me.
All right. Oh, look, it's crooked as fuck. But you know what? It adds a little character, I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fix it next
We're going to
time.
do it live.
Fuck it. We're going to do it live. Look, it's 8:46. March 13th. Man, it still feels like 7:46, though. The time change got me all fucked up. It's March 13th, 2020.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Ain't that some shit? My name is Justin, not Jason. Justin. To my right here, to your left, that's Steven.
Yo.
Guy Spencer. And we got Eric over here on the controls. Spin some knobs over there real quick, Eric.
Hit me with that echo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what he do. And this is the Lone Ranger vs. Tonto up in this hoe.
Hey.
So what were you talking about? Pornography? You want to go ahead and keep
No,
I'm sure your mom is watching.
We can definitely move on. And I think we probably need to talk about
Sorry, Mom.
Corona.
Corona?
Yeah. Probably start with talking about Corona.
All right.
This
You
one right
know.
here?
Familiar?
Yes. This one.
Okay.
This is your first time having it, Justin, right?
Yes, sir. I think so. Maybe not. I don't know. I just like the bottle.
Yeah.
Tastes like Corona.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference is.
It's like a little less skunky, but
So
tastes like Corona.
yes,
Fire.
that's a big difference. And that's just a change in the bottle color, right? So the clear bottle lets in light, which affects like the hop oils, which gives it that like skunkier, phosphorus like kind of smell and like flavor. It does die off. Like you gotta let a Corona breathe a little bit, like let
that
some of
phosphorus breathes.
gunk get out of there. But with this in the dark bottle, it doesn't as much. But you can also see like the beer is really light, even for this style of what this one is, which is a Vienna lager. But it's definitely darker than just slightly darker than a Corona, I think. Definitely darker than a Corona Light.
Yeah, it looks more like piss.
Yeah, a little bit more amber in there. But
I don't know no girl named Amber
and so
that looked like that,
just the
but
big
it looked
difference
like
in this beer is the type of malts that they put into it are Vienna malts, and so they're just a little bit more character in the flavor and just a little bit darker as well, like a little bit of heat added to them to give it a little character. That's about the only difference, but it's just another style that this is the same style as like Victoria.
I fuck with Victoria.
Yeah, and so I think Victoria is a better example of a Vienna lager, but this one isn't a bad one either. You know, it's Corona. It's I feel like the Bud Light of that region in terms of what taste they're trying to get at for people. You know, does that make sense?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't taste none of that, but that sounds cool. Like, it sounds like you know a lot about this. Like you Googled it before we sat down. That's cool that you Googled that. I taste a Corona, and I That's cool. Reminds me of like barbecues, you know, or
Barbecues.
the beach. You know, I've always made sure to have like a Corona on the beach. That's like the beer to have there.
Great branding.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So
What do you think they're going to do with their branding around this, around what's going on? And like, also they've done a pretty good job
FBI.
switching up the name,
COVID-19.
and now I don't think Corona is sticking around anymore. I think they kind of squashed that one to the COVID-19.
Well, the co in COVID-19 is Corona.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been the coronavirus. There's different
Because it's the
coronaviruses.
Corona, 𝗶𝗃 virus. I don't know what the ID is. 19 because it started 2019.
Interdimensional defense. That's what it is. It's got interdimensional.
I heard somewhere that Bill
defenses.
Gates invented this virus in one of his weird like philanthropy projects.
Is that right? You see
somewhere.
what Bill Gates did today?
No, what did he do today?
He left Microsoft.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Holy shit, what?
Yeah, you didn't see it? You fucking guys, I love this shit
Probably-
when I'm the
probably.
news guy. Yeah, fucking Bill Gates left Microsoft today.
He left the Microsoft board.
Oh, the Microsoft board, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Still, he's still the
motherboard?
owner. So he's still gonna have his shares of shit, but he's not telling nobody what to do or nothing.
He's got no more say.
He's got no more say. He's out.
Well, he's got no more official say.
financial
Either way.
say.
Financial, also just like he's fucking Bill Gates. He's got over $100 billion, I'm pretty sure, and probably still calls a lot of the
The
shots
point
at
is that
Microsoft.
Bill Gates ain't doing nothing at Microsoft no more. That's
Probably
that's
because he's
that's
about
what
to
he's
get-
doing there.
He's probably about to try and fix the shit he fucked up when he made coronavirus in 2019
So
at one of
hold
them
on, hold on.
labs.
Tell me about this. He made coronavirus. Who the fuck told you that?
Oh, I don't even remember. I didn't mean to like go into this like real seriously.
Yeah, go for it. Alex Jones said what?
It might have been Alex Jones. Yeah, that's right. No. Did you hear the crazy shit that one of those, like, some dude who was like a Tea Party guy, I can't remember his name, but a Tea Party guy that did some big rant. He's a news person that did a big rant about the Tea Party at one point that was all crazy. And then he's been like real quiet and not popular. And then he just went on a rant again saying that, you know what we should do about the coronavirus? Give everyone the coronavirus. Just give it to everybody.
Who the fuck?
Yeah, but he's
These
like
fucking people.
crazy, you know,
They
right,
do with, I mean,
right
some people-
media pundit person that's yelling this fucking shit. And
Yeah.
just wild, though. Wild.
Wow.
So what have you purchased to prepare for COVID-19? Have you been prepping at all? Got them new kicks.
I got some new Vans. I got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers.
That's right. That's right. Shout out to the pack. Also, shout out to the bass god, 𝗏𝗶, who was in the pack as well. I feel like he was the only one who really made any kind of popularity after that song.
Yeah. I wonder what he's doing for the COVID-19 of 2020.
Probably bought some new Vans too.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I got soap. You know what I'm saying? I got toilet paper already. And I'm a be alright. Like that's all you need because that's what they take it from the stores. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah.
People are ridiculous.
People, I didn't even understand the whole toilet paper thing at first, and then I went to the store and I was still confused because I just like let that drift out of my mind. Like I didn't think it was gonna actually be real. But then I was at the store and there was a whole shelf missing as shit that I didn't even know what was supposed to be there, and I had to put 2 and 2 together and be like, holy shit, that's what the toilet paper normally is, and nothing's there. And like we takes us
Somebody
like a
got
year to get
stabbed
through.
over one today.
No
or
way.
Or a case of bottled water today. They fucking
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
some fool got stabbed.
Because in reality, water and electricity are our real worries. If those things stop for some reason,
Oh yeah.
those are the real worries. Like otherwise, like
know.
food will be cool, like we'll be able to do that. But
Yeah,
water and
well,
electricity,
None of those things are even under. Like those things really aren't under. Well, they weren't under
distress.
stress until
Yeah.
people started overreacting about it.
Correct.
And then you get herd mentality. But hey, what you gonna do? That's the way humans are programmed. You can't like. It's funny to watch from the outside if you're like, you know, I'm not gonna say smart enough, but if you're like if you've got the perspective to know that it's not something to freak out, that freaking out, not even saying that it's not something to freak out, but that freaking out like that is not the answer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then when you see other people do it, it's like, I get it. But anyways, what was I going with that? West Side.
So someone was stabbed. All right, so there's articles that say that a man was stabbed over bottled water at a store.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
But the second result is 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
That's the one I saw.
Unless if like mainstream media hasn't gotten to it yet.
Well, no, you go click the video and it's you watch it. That's why it's on 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃. It could, because I follow 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃 on Instagram, and it was one of the ones where they couldn't put it on Instagram because a motherfucker gets. Yeah.
Damn, bing,
Yeah,
bing.
look, he's over there laughing.
Oh.
Yeah, motherfucker gets stabbed, boy.
Yeah, that's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's over there
Goodness.
crying for help. Everybody's just standing there.
Over some water?
Over a case of water, boy.
In the Walmart or where?
Case of water.
Where
It's
were
crazy.
they at?
Looks like a Sam's Club.
Live investigative journalism from Erick Arredondo.
It's a Sam's Club,
Oh, yeah.
and they're wheeling him out. God damn, that's
Oh,
crazy.
Holy buckets. Of course it'd be at a Walmart.
Hell yeah. But hey, no. Oh, that's where I was going with that. The point was that's not even the stuff that's was under until people started overreacting. The stuff that's at risk is the medical supplies, and not right now yet. Like not here yet. That's the thing. It's like not right now, but they already know. They're saying it readily. Like we're not prepared if we get hundreds or
people.
thousands of people or something. We can't control 1,000.
Yeah.
Like we can't do that. We don't even have the shit. We're already running out of the masks. Right? And there's no more to buy.
Yeah.
Normally, you know what I mean? It's not like they stockpile that shit. I heard that shit on Joe Rogan's. That boy was talking about that shit. That the hospitals can't stockpile that shit. Normally they just, call it in once, twice a week or month or whatever. And be like, yeah, but we want 5,000 masks. Boom. It's there a couple days later, a day later or some shit. And it's like they're running out around the world and shit because foods are freaking out. And because there's like my brother was telling me about all the respirators.
Ventilators.
The ventilators.
Yep.
In Italy that they're running out of there. And they're like,
Shout out to Italy, though, for handling that in a serious way to help their people.
Sure, but there's not a lot. Again,
I mean, did you
you
hear what they did with their mortgages there, though?
Oh, yeah. I think they're letting them all off for the next month or two or
they
something.
suspended I don't know if they put a deadline on it yet, but I think right now they're at least, 2 months out.
Yeah,
no mortgages out there. But that's what's up about, there's two ways to look at these problems is, there's the financial solutions that you have, and then there's the social solutions that you have. Uh-huh. And our country's really good at always throwing financial stuff at it, which we already saw. As soon as it really got serious last week when that stock market dropped and they dropped rates in the home loans, that was a response to this shit going on. Not just the virus, but its impact across the world economically. And that response was fucking crazy. They changed them 3 times in 3 days, which they haven't changed them in 3 months. This is volatile behavior from the feds, which makes me nervous because America likes to do let's keep it they just passed that shit to give $1.5 million to help with the stock market crash because it dropped the most. Thank you. Yes, 1.5 trillion to help with the biggest crash that we've seen since.
$1 trillion.
But the stock market dropped.
With a tree.
The stock market dropped the most since Black Monday, I think is what it's called. The precursor, one of the precursors to the Great Depression, right? The percentage drop was the most since then.
Oh shit, is it that bad? I heard it was from the 80s or 90s, whenever that market crash happened, was as bad as this one. I didn't know it was as bad as the Monday before.
That's what I heard on, I think, the Intelligence this morning when they were talking about it. But
I read that one too, but that was a couple days ago.
And
yeah, so that's why I'm like,
the
damn.
person even admitted they thought it was that, went and double checked and looked at the research and saw that it was Black Monday.
That's fucking wild.
Fucking wild. But also fuck all them thinking that makes me angry because the people are just making more money by that because the people who drop the stock market are all the rich motherfuckers who are we're gonna make some money because they know all this is gonna happen when they sell all those stocks that dropped. they're selling those stocks. That's why they're dropping, is because people are selling. And the people selling are doing it for a reason. Everyone's catching up to them, right? Even the market is. And then when...
Well, they're selling to save their investment, to save their money.
But they know, and it's dropping because they know to get out for a reason, right? They're getting out and selling for a reason. They're not just like, oh,
yeah, but
the price is super high right now. They just know that it's not going to get any higher in the near future, so we can sell, drop the market. And then these same people, while the market's low, are going to buy like crazy while the market's super low in the next. But then they're also dumping $1.5 million or $1 trillion into this shit where they're...
I don't know about today, but I know the last 2 days trading was paused. You couldn't trade at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little buffer that they do. If it drops, I think it was like 12% and then 20% again. They stop it for 15 minutes so that people can like think about it for a second, see if they want to sell or anything like that, and then get back into it.
And so these people are just going to buy a bunch of low level or low price stock when this does come back on, because they're not going to go up in between even when they're off. And so they'll be able to buy a bunch of more stock. And the Fed will try and respond and like make people more comfortable by changing rates, which is all they really want to do. But there's a lot of economic risk here.
So let me ask you a question that's been heavy on my shoulders since you started this conversation really quick about the stock market and it going down. I happen to recall that Senator Sanders has proposed one of the ways to pay for, it was either free education or free healthcare. One of them was a tax on trades. Would that be affected by something like this? And wouldn't that have an effect in a bad way at a bad time?
Why would it have a bad effect?
Because if everybody's selling and the stock market's going down, the trading, then that tax, you're not going to make as much on that money anymore. And how much can you pay if that's paying for healthcare?
But you're still making money when they're selling. You're not just you're taxing them on both ends. Any trade, that's the thing, is like you're not just taxing when they buy, you're taxing when they sell. So you're catching them on both ends. So whether they're selling to make the market drop, it's going to incentivize them to not sell more, right? It's going to not control, but it's going to constrain the market more, because you're not going to be willing to go as much, right? Because if you sell $2 billion worth of stock, you're going to get taxed on $2 billion worth of. You're
going to lose like $2 million,
right? Or you're going to mitigate that by saying like, now we know what percentage we're going to take a hit on this. And so they're going to put it into an equation that's going to tell them what's the best number and like the safest, or where's the risk at for each number of like how much we should sell. But it's going to be less because the risk is going to be, not mitigated, but it's going to be, I don't know what the right word is, but it's going to be pushed.
Migrated.
Sure. Migrated. Let's talk about geese.
Migraine.
Yo, I listened to a podcast, a fucking Radio Lab podcast about migration. Blew my fucking mind.
What animal migrations?
It was just about migration itself. And about like that back in the day, these cats used to think that like Aristotle, I think Aristotle's guess was that they hibernated. Was that birds hibernated. That's where they went.
Oh, because to them, they just disappeared because they didn't have contact with the people where they were going. They didn't have direct, like, immediate contact.
Well, we didn't figure out where they were going until, like, the fucking early 1900s and shit.
When, like, flight was developed?
Yeah, and then we didn't start figuring out even, like, the migrations and the patterns and stuff until, like, the 70s and 80s. And even, like, today we're finding out new shit about migration because now they can track individual birds. And usually they used to be kind of in tracking, like, they'd tag a few birds in the flock so you kind of follow the flock. But now they can tag all the birds. And they have the data on all the birds that are sending shit back by fucking the cell phone signals and shit. And so you see like a stream of birds, and now you can see the big zoomed out picture of what all the migrations are doing as far as the bird migrations. But then you could zoom in on singles.
Because it's like a big map they do, right? Like a big global map, and it like charts all their paths and stuff, right?
Well, one of the ways that they started finding out about migration, like one of the big ways that like they discovered migration as a possibility was in like the 1800s when this fucking German dude was on his farm. And he saw fucking a crane, and he shot it or something, and it had a spear in its neck. And so he took it somewhere, and they said that it was an African spear.
And he said African spear,
and they're like, "What the fuck? Why? How the fuck would an African spear get in these things?" And so that was when it was first proposed that migrations happened, that the cranes were coming from Africa, or they were going to Africa when they left. You know what I mean? And then not only like did that happen again, that shit ended up happening some fucking dozens of times. Yeah.
What a legendary crane though, to like make it back with a spear in your neck from Africa, like, and be the first one to be like a recorded.
Or is that make it to vacation? Maybe it lives in Africa.
You're right, I think, actually. Because I think cranes are more like equatorial birds naturally, like in their breeding environment, right? And their breeding is usually their home environment.
So then they talk about now they can track all these birds, and they put the fucking GPS on these birds and shit. And now you can watch them all individually. So when one goes off and does something funny, you can zoom in. And they go and they find out that this one decided on its own that out of the entire flock was going to go back to Africa. It was going to go left or some shit and went to Sudan. And was just chilling there and shit. And they were like, fuck, is it injured? Maybe something's wrong with it. It's all by itself. There's nobody else around it. You know what I mean? But they were like, and they were in Germany. So they're like, I mean, it's far, but we can go.
Right? Like, it's not a bad trip. It's cheap to travel.
And it's just chilling. Like, we know where it's at right now. So they decide to go get it. Now, their tracker comes once every 24 hours. So it took them like 3-4 days of like following it and getting to where it just was. And then it moves. You know what I mean? But once they were able to finally get in the area, they found it. It was just chilling, feeding on a bunch of fucking frogs and living the dream by itself. And so they were like, what the fuck? Why would, you know what I mean? Because they always assumed migration was like this programmed robot thing that happened to them, right? Like because we didn't understand it so well. And he's like, but you know, that crane shows that they all still kind of have free will.
Autonomy
and like, you know, they're going on their own over there, but like this one could just decide it's over here, and that serves an evolutionary advantage by if something ever happens in the migration where they end up, there's always one or two something elsewhere to continue the population.
Birds are such crazy, amazing creatures.
Fucking bananas, B. And then you talk about the fucking the fucking monarch. The monarch butterfly? Yo, so the monarch butterfly migrates from, we have them here all the way up to like New York and shit. And they migrate down to somewhere in South America or Central America, right? And they don't know how they do that.
Yep.
Because the ones that migrate are like 4 generations past since the one has been there and done the migration. So it's not like they migrated once, they made it, and then they go back. It's like, they even describe it, it's like a fucking floating tissue paper, goes from Central America up to like fucking Colorado, and then dies, has kids, it dies, has another kid, it dies, has another kid, and then that kid flies back.
Yeah.
To the exact same spot. Not even like, oh no, fuck, like where it's like different areas. No, the same spot that its fucking great grandpa came from and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, those creatures are like the most amazing thing that like blew my mind about butterflies. Like, butterflies are crazy. Some don't even have mouths. They just like are born with enough energy inside them to just do what because all butterflies want to do is like they become a caterpillar, or not become, but they're a caterpillar. They go through their metamorphosis, and then when they're alive, they just want to fuck and reproduce. Like, that's all they want to do is reproduce. And some of them need to eat to get the energy to do so, because, you know, like the monarch butterfly, is a migrating butterfly, but some are just like they're going to stay around their habitat. Like Florida has a crazy amount of butterflies down there, and moths, and like fucking moths that are like this big. It's wild.
Yeah, shit's crazy.
Woo wee. I don't
It's a
like
bird,
moths.
boy.
Yeah. Ugh. But the
They're
most
just fucking-
amazing thing.
Hold up, why don't you like moths? They're just butterflies, but ugly.
I don't know, man. They're
Poor
so
things,
bad.
boy.
Yeah, I had like I guess
I
it was
fuck with
just
moths.
the ones in New Mexico traumatized me. I think where it just there's so
Oh.
many down there. The
Well,
Miller
they're
moths down
thick,
there.
boy. They got them big
You
old
kill
bodies.
one and it's like it's the worst. But my favorite thing about caterpillars is that when a caterpillar goes into metamorphosis in the chrysalis, they become a goo, a fucking goo.
Oh yeah,
And
everything about them except for the outside.
and
of
then that goo from inside there turns into a butterfly with like wings and like all this crazy shit. But the fucking wildest part is I don't know how they did this experiment.
I do.
But you do?
Go ahead.
But what they did is they showed that the memory of the caterpillar survived the goo into the butterfly. That's something they taught the caterpillar. They could still test and it knew it as a butterfly. So that goo transferred like a mental data through a goo that we don't understand how that happened through those two forms of life.
Hell yeah.
Fucking wild. How did they test it?
So it was some kind of particular, and I don't remember the exact details, so I'm probably gonna chop this up. But this is like the Justin version of what actually happened, right? And so they took like different colored leaves, I think it was, or something. It wasn't colors; it was just different leaves or whatever. But they added electricity to one of them, and taught the caterpillars that those leaves were electric, and to avoid them. And so they would learn to avoid those whatever it was, leaves or whatever they eat. Maybe it was flowers, I don't know, but whatever they ate, they would avoid that. And then, you know, they go into their metamorphosis, and then it would come back, and the butterfly would still avoid, like to the death, that color or that it was the color or light or whatever it was, but it had to do with electricity like that. It was fucking nuts.
Incredible.
Butterflies are fucking weird, bro.
Well, thank you guys for joining Justin's and I's pretty much Radio Lab summary from over the last like 6 or 7 years, because I know that butterfly episode is hella old.
It was a gango, but that was
It's
a good
so
one,
good.
boy. Yo, have you been watching the other Latif? The other Latif?
What?
Oh my god, it's like the latest series, and they're on number 6. It was supposed to come out today, and it didn't drop, and I was waiting for it all
Radio Lab
fucking
gets
day
pushed
long.
down because I listen to so many podcasts that come out regularly, and Radio Lab is like a bi-weekly one, right? If that.
Yeah, if that.
And so it always gets pushed down. So when it does come out, like I never know, because there's already like a bunch of podcasts I'm trying to listen to in between there. And so I'll miss a ton of episodes, and then one will have a boring title, the next one will have a boring title, and then I don't
But sometimes I click those anyways, because sometimes the boring titles will have like the
I
titles.
know. I literally just go like, I'll see if Justin recommends this one to me.
Yo, listen to the other Latif.
Yeah?
It's one of the fucking Latif Nasser. He's one of the like the producers or journalists or combination of, you know, whatever they all do over there in at Radio Lab. And he decided to Google his name because his name is so unique. Mm-hmm. And at first it told him there was nobody in the United States, and then he looked in the world, and at first it said there was nobody in the world, and then he looked through a different search, and he found one other person with his name. And the dude's in Guantanamo Bay.
Whoa.
And then it becomes this, it's like this whole zigzag of a story of him learning, find out who this dude is, trying to talk to him, trying to see what's up, trying to understand his story, going, you know what I mean, to see his family who hasn't seen the dude in 20 some years. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like crazy shit. Anyways, pretty tight. I fucks with it.
Yeah.
Like a Radio Lab. Holla at Radio Lab.
Yes.
The hardest produced podcast on the net.
After this one.
You ever see that video of when all the singers got together in the early 90s and
We Are the World?
They're doing the We Are the World joint, and they're all standing there like a choir, right? They have them all standing there doing all kinds of stuff like that. And if you look, Bob Dylan is stuck in the middle, and he wants zero part of it. Zero. The boy's sitting there, and he's sitting there like, everybody's all, we are the world, trying their hardest to be the one being seen, like a bunch of little kids. And Bob Dylan's just going back and forth, going like,
but some of the people on
kind
there
of
are
lipping
like,
it, not singing at all, just doing this, thinking like, and you could just see it in his eyes, like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
yeah. But wasn't like Michael Jackson on that stage?
Yeah, no,
And,
Michael. I think it was Michael
a
Jackson's song.
ton of shit. Like a ton of people were up
so
there.
they-
Like,
yeah, no.
what's his name? Elton John, I think, was on there.
Yeah, no,
Like,
we're talking about
huge
Bob
stars.
Bob Dylan.
Huge
Bob
stars.
Dylan is standing up there right
Yeah.
next to him is like Celine Dion to his fucking right over
Yeah.
here is like fucking I don't know,
Usher.
Billy Joel and shit. Like whoever was Usher, whoever was running shit in the early 90s was on that song. Fucking Aerosmith. Like everybody
Steven
was,
Tyler, yeah.
I don't know if he was really there, but I
Mick
figure all
Jagger.
them motherfuckers was all on that song.
Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, Paul Simon,
Yes,
Kenny
yes.
Rogers, James Ingram, Tina Turner, Billy
Yanni.
Joel,
Dude.
Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, Dionne Warwick, Willie Nelson, Al
Willie
Jarreau,
Nelson, boy.
Bruce Springsteen, Kenny
Boss.
Loggins, Steve Perry, Daryl
Steve
Hall,
Perry.
Hugh Lewis, Cyndi Lauper, Kim Carnes, Bob Dylan,
There we go.
and Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
He was up there with hitters, boy, and he wanted zero part of it, and it's so fucking funny. You know what's tight about that film is that he you know his style music, the way it like changed the game, the folk game, and you know it changed all kinds of genres. Rock, like rock, it changed at some points. It changed some country. All these kinds of things were influenced by Bob Dylan, and it all came because every time he would make an album, everybody would like ask him to do another album, and so he would do one, and he would never do the exact same thing again. Every album is like a brand new joint, and you know, as far as like in the style, like maybe now we zoom out and we're like, oh, that's kind of similar, but it's like
But it
back
was
then.
defining then.
Yeah, back then it was like, holy shit, this is entirely different than what we, and then so everybody starts replicating that, and then boom, he would change that up. And he was so against like the whole popularity in the system, he would always change it up.
Well, and I think that was in contrast
Hard.
as well to like the Beatles, who I think were the other like contrast to that internationally, right? Like because Dylan is really in the scene from when does he start? Like when does he switch
Hold up,
from electric?
but you can't. But hold up, but the Beatles did mostly covers, stole a lot of songs. Bob Dylan wasn't stealing songs. He was literally like bringing out. You know, you can't really compare them.
Well, I'm not comparing them. I'm
Okay.
comparing the similarity of their influence in ways that like when the Beatles would change an album and their sound. I'm not saying it's every album has a completely different sound, but there are Beatles albums that are way different than certain other ones, and it would push those like pop sounds. But it was all about like more of a pop market, and that I think Bob Dylan was always, you know, never trying to be against it, but knew that was like not his goal. That was not his like reach. He was there to, you know, he was just making music that he loved, or I hope he loved, and that a lot of other people did love. And I think his like apathy of being up on that stage and being like, oh, what did I get myself into, is that like that whole like all those people are much more into that pop scene. Not to say that there weren't musicians up there, because there are amazing musicians up
Yeah,
there.
no, he
but
didn't give a fuck.
a lot of them created like pop scenes, and
It wasn't that he didn't give a fuck about
it.
the song. It wasn't that.
Right.
It wasn't about the song at all. It was that he didn't give a fuck to be one of those people.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying.
And then
is,
when
like,
he saw himself there, like whatever it was, maybe he had to pay some bills. He did it, whatever. What he's up there, and he fucking hates it, and it's fucking tight. Bob Dylan's off the hook. Anyways,
indeed,
shout out to
know
Bob
who-
Dylan
I released a
and Billy
recently,
Strings, which is the cover I was singing. Go ahead.
Found out that Jay Dilla has been, when he was alive, like he wasn't that big of an influence on jazz, but like contemporary jazz now takes a lot of like things from Jay Dilla.
For real?
Yeah.
That's tight.
Dude.
Shout out to Jay Dilla. R.I.P.s.
next level. I love J Dilla.
Hell yeah. It's cool.
All right, Steven, what aside from Corona?
Yeah, what do we got over here, boy?
All right, so I want to keep.
Shout
it
out
short
to
on
Guy
this one.
Spencer over here. What we got?
Yeah, Dr. Guy Spencer.
No, you're a doctor?
Huh? Now, you know, always been.
Maybe,
but the
doctor's not cool. We could do Esquire or something, though. I don't really know what that one means, and it sounds dorky. So let's go with Guy Spencer Esquire.
Are you sure?
I'm sure it's some cool thing to rich white people, but to a normal motherfucker,
It really is.
You tell me some shit about Esquire,
What's
and
the
I'll
coolest
smack
job to rich white people? Or
besides doctor?
Yeah,
Lawyer.
Yeah.
that's exactly what
Esquire.
Esquire means.
A little title appended to a lawyer's surname.
Would you look at that?
Or a young nobleman who, in
It's also a
training for
magazine.
knighthood, acted as an attendant to a knight.
Would you look at that? At night.
So is Guy Spencer a lawyer or
None of those things are cool anymore. So
I mean, I'm
call
pretty
yourself
sure he's
Esquire?
a
that's some
Dr.
square
Guy
ass.
Spencer Esquire.
You ain't no motherfucking doctor
LLC.
boy. You're like a man.
No. He's an S corp for sure.
You know, S corp, I corp.
You a
U
doctor.
corp. We all corp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You like Dr. Dre doctor.
yeah, like a. My
Cats are
bad,
weird,
y'all.
dude. Yo, so it's weird. Like, so cats will like find holes and shit and explore them, and I always find that amazing. I don't know about y'all. People are like, "Why the fuck would you find that amazing?" Because she's thinking with her mind, like, "What am I doing? I'm gonna go
Khaleesi.
find. I'm gonna go look in." She's a grown ass adult. Like that's a grown adult right there. And
Being
we're
like, what's in this hole?
what's in this hole? Like, how tight is that? I wish I was. You know what I'm saying? I never look at no holes and be like, "What's in there?" You know? Well, I guess I do. At the ranch, I've done that
I was
before.
gonna say I can think a lot of holes in New Mexico, and I'm like, I'm
man.
gonna figure that out. I need to know.
Yeah, me and my I guess my uncle Larry. We were climbing through Tinaja over there somewhere, and it was the middle of the night, boy. It was like 12 midnight. We went out looking for the bandits' cave. Found that shit as a family. We're all on our way back. Me and him in the back. He's in his 60s, maybe early 70s. He's late 60s, I think. Early 70s, maybe. Late 60s, I think. Maybe mid 60s, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, he's older. He's older than me. Shit. And so we climbing, see a hole. That boy goes, "What's in that hole?" Same way she just did, like that. Boom. Darts in there. Boy, I don't even got a flashlight and shit. I'm like, hold up. Like, so I go up behind him and I got a flashlight. I'm like, well, let's go. Shit. And he looks at me. He's like, you what? I'm like, he's like going in and kind of looks back at me like, as if like, we going? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Shit. We start going in this hole. We got in there deep. And we found a little nest. You wouldn't call it a nest. It'd be like a little den.
Mm-hmm.
A little den, probably like a little bobcat or something. And nothing was in there. But we definitely saw the shit, some little bones and shit. We were like, oh shit, this is tight. Like, yeah. And we crawled our asses back out there. And everybody had left us. We had to catch up. I'm like, hey, what? What the fuck? No, I'm just kidding. I think Joey wasn't there, but Joey might have been there. Man, I remember there was all kinds of motherfuckers there. Jeremy was definitely there. Jeremy was waiting at the top for us. I don't know. Y'all don't know none of these people. It doesn't matter. I'm just over here high reminiscing about this story, but it was tight. Anyways, there's a story about humans do sometimes jump in sometimes holes, but still, it's not something that happens often. And that girl will do it all the time. She about to go do it again. Like it's a new hole.
My question is, what does that look like, fermented Capri-Sun?
What the fuck did you bring?
I just brought a
That
beer with some fruit in it. That's all. That's why it's that
The
color.
fuck is a fruit?
That looked like cranberry juice.
Yeah, you guys should try it. I told you.
What do you want, your fucking period? Name that movie.
I think that was Homeward Bound 2.
Yes.
Ooh.
He's like, it's cranberry juice. It's a natural diuretic. My wife drinks them when she's on her period.
Oh gosh, I'm so excited.
What do you
for
want, your
guys
period
to
or something?
To drink this beer. I think there is cranberries in this one actually. Oh, sorry, nope. Blackberry and blueberry. Oh, you guys are in for a treat.
It looked like blood. What the? That's not beer.
Why that tastes like candy?
Like a Warhead.
Yeah, what the?
That shit's trash. Beer.
Remember
Why don't you give
before
me a
we started
Warhead drink?
recording that I said that I wanted to try
That would have
a
been
sour
bomb
beer?
if it wasn't all sour.
Yep.
I just realized I don't like sour beers.
Ah, good. You don't like these sour beers, that's for sure. This is next level sour beers, though. This is not like you guys didn't enter level 1. You entered level literally level 23.
Well, what the fuck would you do that for? That sounds like some inconsiderate bullshit. I don't know why you always put me through this stuff. This shit is big. It's a tall ass thing, and it's a Warhead.
That's the whole thing's a Warhead,
dude. This is like, you remember that? What's that little juice thing that they got? They always had them in the little quarter machines at Skate City. You put 2 quarters in there, boom, bang, and it gave you the little juice joint, and it was either red or blue. And then you little squirted like little drops. Bink, 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 and they were sour as fuck. But then, after a couple bink, bink, binks, it would always be like, all right, fuck it. And you spray the whole thing real quick, and that's what this tastes like. But in a beer, and that's trash. Like, that was cool when it was a little tincture. The bitch was this big. I got like 3 little drops. Oh, no, I'm so sour. This shit's gross.
Oh, it was Warheads. They did have one of those.
Dundada. Oh, fuck, that's exactly what this is like.
So much fun.
This is so much awful. This is terrible. Why would you do this? Oh, don't hold it in your mouth. It's worse.
Oh, no.
Gosh.
I'm going to have to shotgun this shit.
No, I brought a backup. Dump it if you don't like it.
Boy, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Do I look like a motherfucker who wastes beer or wastes anything?
It's not a waste. If you don't like it,
I'm not
don't
wasteful,
drink it.
boy.
I bought it to see you do that.
Look, boy, if you kill it, you eat it. That pop, that top, that's killing it. So I eat it.
All right, buddy. You don't have to.
People actually drink this?
Because I want to drink something else.
Like the whole thing?
I'm really surprised that they served this beer in this format. Like, we should have shared one. And I would have been fine with that. I don't need a whole fucking glass of this.
Yeah, this feels excessive for what it tastes like.
I'm drinking the whole thing.
I mean, it's not... I don't think it's that... really, it's not that excessive. I think there's a little bit more... Maybe if I give you a little background on the beer, you'll see where like the craft is from. That this isn't just like a Warhead dropped in with a bunch of like acetic acid and pushed into candy syrup. It's a little bit more than that.
No,
right?
That's what it is.
I feel like if they did that, it might be cheaper.
Right? Maybe. I mean, it absolutely would be.
Not discounting like the
because you can get like bulk acetic acid, which I think you can buy in the store.
Have you had this before?
No, I've never actually had anything.
Oh, so I'm not blaming you. I'm sorry. This actually, by reading it, I would have picked this. So I'm glad you chose this one. I'm like, I would have tried that. I'd be like, oh, that sounds cool. This shit's awful.
Yeah, you're never gonna hurt my feelings. I'm gonna bring beer that you hate. Probably for the most part, you don't like.
Well, I was just commending you on your choice. If you want to,
yeah,
you want to.
But I knew what this was gonna taste like. Also, like I knew it was gonna taste like this. I didn't think it was going to taste... You probably thought it was going to taste like something from like a bigger brewery that would put out something with blackberry and blueberry in it and be like, oh, wheat, blackberry, blueberry, a little sour in there. Doesn't sound too bad. Let me try that.
Sounds bomb.
Can looks cool. Black Project is from Broadway. Like, you know, it's right there.
So this is a craft beer, and that's why it tastes like a Warhead.
No, not at all. When I said craft, I meant
you said
more
you
of like...
expected this.
Yes.
And now you're saying... that you shouldn't have put, or you should have put it, we should have shared one.
Just because I think the flavor and like the punch of this one is a little strong. I don't want a full one. Like,
so you didn't expect that.
My surprise, I didn't expect the like acetic note to be so strong and heavy and not balanced by more of the fruit. Like I expected less fermentation from the fruit and a lot less fermentation character from such like a bold bacteria, because like the sour that you're tasting is from like lactobacillus and other bacteria.
I don't even fuck with lactobacillus.
Yes, you do. If you eat yogurt, you fuck with
lactobacillus.
Nah.
Hell no.
It's the only thing that helps.
Lactobacillus.
It's the only thing that the same thing in lactate as well is lactobacillus. Lactobacillus.
You were lactobacillus, my guy.
Call me it again.
Lactobacillus, what's up? Shit.
God damn, I'm about to drink you.
What the fuck? Boy.
I was talking to my lactobacillus.
Okay. Well, we're on a podcast.
You might lactobacillus too, homie.
You responded to me, my guy. Hold up. Nah, I appreciate the offer, but I'm cool. Thanks.
You know this? I mean,
hey, what's up with another beer? Because I need something to chase this fucking Warhead with.
so I got another one that's
Coffee ain't it.
another one that's not this one. But let me finish telling you about how this beer is made a little bit. That's different than other beers. Which
You got about a minute and a half.
perfect. I don't need even that.
Perfect.
So most beers are just like the yeast part or the part that ferments it is just tossed in there because it's a vial from a lab and you just put it in there. This is open fermentation, so it's just whatever's in the air is going to come in here and ferment it. And hopefully the right shit's in the air to make fucking alcohol from wheat and from the sugars that are in the fruit that they put in here. Hopefully that the right yeast is in there. And luckily they've done this for a while, and so that yeast lives in their in their brewery. Those yeasts live in the air there and ferment this beer. And so what you get out of it, you have no control of the fermentation component of this, which, Budweiser's protect their fermentation component, their yeast, so much. And so this, you don't have as much control. So when they put it in there, they've tasted it. They know it's strong, but you don't the beer is what it is. The yeast does all the work. And when you don't control the yeast and you just let it be, this is what it is. But this is the most natural form of beer that I love that because it has to be from a specific area. You'll never taste this beer anywhere else, but from this brewery in Colorado, because that's the only place where this shit lives.
No, I will taste it at Skate City if I go there and I have 50 cents and you put in a little machine. I'm sure maybe it's been kind of up now. I'm sure it's about 75 cents. These kids, poor kids, got to put in 4 quarters and shit in this thing and then turn the thing. But they're still going to get the little Warhead thing. But bink. And that's what this is, my guy. You can get this anywhere. Any amusement event center of some kind that's got fucking quarter machines for kids. A laundromat, maybe.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm glad to hear that you like it.
Well, while I slam this one, tell me about we got another Four Noses. Tell me about that one.
Do we have to talk more about beer? Can we just drink those?
I like the label on this one better.
What is that now? What are we doing? What's it
The
called?
can on this one's tight.
I don't know, guys. I didn't remember.
All right, this one's some cool shit. We're gonna do some other
It's from
shit.
Four Noses. It's a single hop, single malt.
They call this
beer.
one the Chaser.
It's good.
Cool.
Nelson Sauvin. Smash.
That's the type of hop.
Single
Guys, we're not
malt
gonna
and
get into
single
it.
hop.
Let's
What about
Sorry.
hip hop?
Hip hop anonymous?
Give him the easy one.
But yeah, what y'all been listening to recently? It's been a minute since we talked about music.
Yeah. One thing that I kind of picked up again recently is Tierra Whack's Whack World album that I really loved the first time I went through it and kind of just fell off and didn't really go through it again all the way through, which only takes 15 minutes. I think that's the total length of the album. But I love it, and I've been listening to it recently, and everybody should check it out because, like I said, it's 15 minutes for a full album and well worth your time.
That's tight. I feel like I haven't listened to anything new since the last time we talked about anything new.
You've been listening to a lot of Charlie Crockett.
But you know I fuck with that Charlie Crockett heavy.
Yeah, me too. He just won some big Memphis award.
Heavily. Yeah, but I got my playlist that runs 96 Ways I Made Out.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's got fucking 10 million songs on it.
A bagazillion songs, yeah.
It's got days worth of hours listening to if you put it on random.
Accidentally press save on that playlist. So now I have all of them saved.
That's unfortunate.
And then
You can unsave now really easily by playlist.
I could have, but I had a whole bunch of
updates?
songs saved already, and I would have lost those. And I play a lot of music without being online. So
well, at least you got 96 Ways I Made Out.
yeah, I have
good music to have.
1,000 songs saved on my phone now.
Yeah.
It's a gang, but it gets you through the day.
Well, it's only 2. I don't know where the fuck.
You know what
the
this
rest came from.
smells exactly like? Like the wrapper of a fruit roll-up.
Dude.
You probably can't smell it through the can because you got to get your nose in there to be able to smell it. But it smells exactly like the wrapper of a mixed berry fruit roll-up.
Wherever sour gets tasted in my mouth has taken over every other flavor profile. Whatever you're tasting, whatever you're smelling, none of it comes through. It's all just sour.
No, that's for you.
That's true.
That's your perception.
I'm telling you right now that whatever you're talking about.
No, there's
it ain't
sweet
real.
in this.
It ain't
there's
real.
Sour.
If it ain't me, it ain't real.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit. Anything you want to talk about, Eric? What are you listening to?
Fuck, let me
You want to talk about that cool ass shirt you got on that says your name on it and shit?
Oh yeah, I did fuck, I don't even know when this came out. When I made this.
All right, but that's it, huh?
I did it one day. I was like, I want a shirt with my name on it. Went to Gen X. Got this printed out.
How much that cost you? About $25?
Probably.
Not bad.
They be taxing over there at Gen X.
Yeah. That's why you guys got to follow us for the best prices on LRBT merch. Coming to none of y'all soon.
Not one of you will get any.
Let's see. Spotify recently
not today, maybe
played.
tomorrow.
You'll see us probably wearing it, but not for y'all.
Yeah, still not today.
Mm-mm.
Maybe tomorrow.
Sucks to be y'all. Y'all should be on here.
Ooh, we do got them cups, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to the watch. Check this other side just in case I use my left hand. Check that out right there.
Left hand, right hand.
I've had a
That's my left
Ventura
hand, boy.
by Anderson .Paak on repeat for now.
Which one?
Ventura, his most recent one.
Mm.
That's a cool one. The Neighborhood dropped an album that was kind of hip hop too. It features Nipsey Hussle, 𝗏𝗏𝘂𝗏𝗯𝗃, and Denzel Curry in some of the songs. It's tight.
I'll have to check that out. You know who else dropped an album today? Ooh, I think some people.
Oh,
in the hip-hop.
𝗏𝗏𝘂𝗏𝗃.
That's it.
Hell yeah, boy.
Did you listen to it?
𝗏𝗏𝘂𝗏𝗃. Fuck that. Call me 𝗏𝗏𝘂𝗏𝗃. 𝗏𝗏𝘂𝗏𝗃. Then he goes off on some cool ass type
Is that
shit.
Exhibit A?
A written
Exhibit C.
testimony.
Exhibit C. And nah,
C.
I have not listened to it yet.
Yeah.
It's on Tidal, I think, only. Well, I saw that they were advertising that Tidal, so I didn't.
on
it's
Spotify, too.
Oh, it's on
yeah.
Spotify?
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen to it.
I just assumed. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm excited, though. I fuck with 𝗏𝗏𝘂𝗏𝗃 heavy. I've been waiting for that album since goddamn 2008.
Everybody has. Over a decade, people have been waiting for that album, and it's finally here. You know who's on it? A bunch.
Who?
The Jigga Man. Jay-Z. All up on there talking about Rock Nation this and Jay-Z that. And well, he's not really doing that. He actually raps hard on there. I haven't heard Jay-Z go in like that since like Jay-Z's done his own albums. And I don't know. I guess I haven't even heard 444 yet.
Yeah.
Because it was on some other platform and I don't use it. And so I never really gave a fuck about it because I guess that's just how I feel. So I haven't heard Jay-Z rap like that in a while. But I'm like, yeah, I like this. Keep going, Jay. I haven't heard you in a while because I didn't listen to his special albums on his special service.
Boy,
Now it's back.
fuck.
It's on Spotify.
44444? Are you sure that's not a playlist? Because last time I looked
No.
it up,
Mhm.
it was like a playlist.
No,
and
I have it
I
saved.
got tricked.
Yeah, that'll
He
happen
finally
too.
released his music. I just don't go back very
It's
often.
Not all of it. He
Mm.
just puts like select shit on there. I think is Reasonable Doubt still up? It
Yeah.
was that Reasonable. Yeah, boy.
When that was on there, I was like, that's all I really need from Jay-Z.
Yeah, all I give a fuck about is Reasonable Doubt playing or no?
Yeah, no, it looks like a lot of his music is on here again. Or I haven't seen this much in a while.
That's pretty
Is
tight.
Tidal still a thing?
Yeah, he's just losing money. He's losing place.
Ah,
Yeah.
so he can get a couple $1 million probably throwing his shit on Spotify for a year or two.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
All right. So, Steven, it's been a little since we recorded. There was a Tuesday that was of rather large size.
Mm-hmm.
No, that would be Fat Tuesday. What am I thinking of? Super Tuesday.
He's thinking about Super Extra Tuesday #2.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah. So all that shit passed. The important thing now is to
Yeah,
know
5
that,
seconds. 3 words.
2 words? No. Shit.
And
I got
we're
3
out of
words.
words.
All
we will see
right.
you guys next week. Go ahead.
All right. So the important thing to know now is that we're just at fucking halftime. If you are in the race still and do not want to vote for fucking the same thing that has been put up this whole time, then vote for Bernie Sanders and keep your heart in
You
for
vote
Bernie
for
Sanders.
whoever you want.
Well, if you're a Democrat and want to vote in a primary in the future,
Learn about Bernie Sanders. I bet you'll like him. That's what you should say. Don't be telling people to vote for people.
don't be
Boy,
telling me
that's
what
weird.
the fuck to say.
That's weird. Don't be voting for nobody because somebody said it. Learn about these motherfuckers.
Sure.
Shit. But he's tight. You'll like him. Maybe you won't. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Either way, if
Go ahead on your
you have a
endorsement
feeling
on
that
that.
you don't want Joe Biden to win,
Yeah, fuck that guy.
just know that
Joe Budden.
the progressive movement is we're just at halftime. We're down at the half. We're just at halftime. Keep going. Keep moving forward. That's the important part. Bernie Sanders is out there to help people and make a change in what's going on. And no more has it been obvious than now that we need a big shift in our infrastructure to be able to handle some shit.
That's true.
And we're going to be tested, and we need a shift, and a political shift like Bernie Sanders in there is the way that we can go forward that will actually change things and not just still benefit all the people who have been benefiting from fucking our suffering for years. And so if you need some advice, I'd be willing to tell you more about Bernie Sanders. But if you just need a vote, because I have a lot of friends that just reach out for who you voting for, and I tell them, and that's who they vote for. And if you need some guidance, look into Bernie Sanders, look into Joe Biden.
Yeah, learn about these motherfuckers. You won't like Joe Biden.
Now it's easier
You'll like
that
Bernie Sanders.
you don't got to
It's
follow
easy.
like 40 people.
Yeah, it's all good, and fuck all them. They dicked out so many people's votes in the way that shit went down.
And don't be learning your shit from memes. My bad.
But yeah, they just dicked out a lot of people from their votes, and it was upsetting the way that they leveraged their positions personally.
Most of the memes are from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Yeah. Fuck. You guys threw me off twice, and now I don't know. What
Well, look, the whole thing was that we feel you. Vote Bernie Sanders. He's off the hook. We know you're passionate about it. Learn more about him. And he's passionate about it because the dude is tight. I like him too. But shit, what we're gonna do?
Hell
But
yeah,
look,
we're gonna win.
But look, so check this. Check this out. I thought I was waiting for you to tell me, because I just in a recent episode that we released on the line. I took a moment to tell you about how I was so right about some shit from a year ago, and not fucking 3-4 weeks later. Now we're sitting here and the shit flipped on me again.
It did.
I'm like, thought you were gonna take an opportunity to tell me I was wrong. I was waiting for that.
I figured if you wanted to bring it up, you would. But I do want to bring up another point you made around
Yeah,
that.
I did. I was wrong. Shit,
I do want to bring up
I'm
another
not
point.
wrong yet though. Hold up, we ain't wrong. I ain't done yet.
All right, for anybody that hasn't watched, can you guys tell me real quick what he wasn't wrong about?
I don't remember. I can't be thinking about the stuff I was wrong about.
True.
Can only think
I
about
want to
the
talk about
future, you
something
know
else
what I'm talking
anyway.
Trying to be a better me.
All right, go for it, Steven.
Well,
Can't be bogged down by the past.
so I think another thing you said in the past, though, that I think we do need to go forward and remember what you said about not if Bernie Sanders is not the nomination, don't let it go, because there is a really good chance they're gonna, now that they've solidified just to Joe Biden, that it's gonna be tough, and there's still not a reason that Bernie Sanders can't run. And I don't know if we can just write him in. I don't know if that's the strategy, but if we can convince that motherfucker to run third party, just to, because they dicked him out of it, and if throw it all away, just like fuck it all. Like, let Bernie Sanders run third party, and all the naysayers, all the media saying blah, 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 splitting votes, blah, blah. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, fuck all of this shit. Bernie
Hell
runs
yeah.
third party, and
West
Justin's
side,
been
homie.
saying that shit for a minute, for a long time. And overall, what you were saying is that Bernie should run third party anyway and just get out of the Democratic Party.
Tell him.
And so let's remember when Justin said that. The other shit, it doesn't matter, because fuck all of those fucks.
True.
And I'm not happy to be right about this shit, which is why I didn't want to bring it up personally, because I'm not happy that Joe Biden is still in this fucking race.
Yeah, but you
And
can
fuck
still be
him.
happy that I was on wrong and shit, because that was like an arrogant thing at that time to be funny. And then here it was, not even that much. I think it's hilarious. Like, hey, dude, like, shit, I brought it up. I thought it was hilarious. I was wrong. And not only that, I was wrong in the air. I was over there like, fuck you, God, blah, blah, blah. I done that shit. I knew that shit. And fucking, ooh. fucking I don't know shit.
Then on
That's why you
Super
don't trust me,
Tuesday,
y'all. I don't know shit. What the fuck?
fucking rat face Pete and Amy Klobuchar sat there and said to the Democratic Party, "Look, I have the most leverage that I'll fucking have in this whole thing. What you gonna give me?" And they all fucking dropped. All those early voters, like the people who voted early, even one of my friends was like, "Well, I'm a little worried about one of my people dropping out that I want to vote for before Super Tuesday." And this was the science fair, so that Friday.
Oh, yep.
And I was like, dang, because I already voted. I voted on Wednesday because I was like, my fucking candidate's in. Like, I voted. And he was like, I don't know if they're going to be in there, so I'm going to wait until Tuesday. And I don't know if they waited. I did talk to him afterward, but I don't know if he waited or not to vote for the candidate, or if his candidate was still in when he did vote or not, or if his candidate dropped out after he voted, which is the part that pisses me off, because they knew they fucking took that. Like, waiting to do that on the early vote people, that was fucked up to do. And then also knowing that when they dropped out, so many of those votes funneled to Biden, and when they brought themselves together and fucking came in, and of course Warren stayed out of it, but like, fuck her in her endorsement. I don't need it, or I don't personally need to hear any kind of endorsement from her for Bernie Sanders. I don't think many Bernie Sanders people that already support him do.
I hear you.
So she can do whatever she wants, but
if you're listening,
all right, that's
don't
all
be
I can
hollering
say.
at burn,
I don't want
burn.
to talk. I shouldn't get into any more political shit because I'm already getting probably all red in my face and shit. Beyond
Yeah,
this
boy,
like sour ass.
that boy
goddamn
getting
beer.
excited. Hell yeah. Shit.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I've heard is that they're just suspended their them running, so they can still get votes. They haven't dropped, so they can still steal votes from
Leech votes.
America.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
Well,
Fuck
that's
them
the
and
game.
fuck their results in states they didn't
That's
even
the
have
game.
infrastructure in. Like, fuck them. Fuck the media that portrayed all this shit to make sure that Joe Biden was in on that shit. Just
Done did
fuck them
told
all.
you so.
Fuck them all.
Done did told
And
you
watch,
so.
watch. It's if it does burn down because of this goddamn virus, it's going to be because of them. The fucking Democrats and Republicans in charge now that run fucking all the way up to governors in cities that don't want to fucking
Elected
make
officials.
social changes, suspending financial things and hardships on the economy to the lower level of people instead of just always funneling it to the top of the economy. To
Elected
make sure they're
officials.
Okay. Elected officials. I mean, that's it.
Sure, but again, who do
But
we
elected
blame?
officials go
Who
down
do
to,
we
like, school
blame
boards.
elected officials on?
Do you blame the school boards? Because there's some school board members doing fucking great work in
Nah,
Denver.
man, I
Tay
vote.
Anderson.
I blame the motherfuckers who voted for those elected officials. They're elected, which means that they're voted in.
But they're not elected in fair ways, like manipulating the media in order to
Look,
like push
man.
candidates in one way or
No,
another.
they're.
And,
You
like,
know
telling
why?
people about
You know why they're
that and-
elected is because nobody pays attention to those lower level motherfuckers who make all of those decisions in the Senate and the Congress.
Oh yeah, what you're talking about there, yeah, the ignored like elected officials that people just vote because they see an R or a D next to somebody's name on that fucking
Exactly.
list, and
They don't know. Well, that's most people.
that was also
You
me.
realize that's
I voted
most
like
people.
that before, so
Yo,
I can't say
well,
I
how
wasn't
many-
one of those people.
Okay, so how many people actually? I don't hardly ever know. I've started to more pay attention now, but especially I've been trying to pay attention to these more local cats.
Absolutely, that's what
because
will make change in your life is your local voting.
and so I've been trying to pay attention to these cats, but shit, even finding shit on these motherfuckers is hard. And
Yeah.
so the one, that's difficult, and two, how many motherfuckers are out there? People are like, oh damn, you going and doing that, right? Like that's not a normal thing. People don't do that shit. So it's like that. But again, I blame the motherfuckers who just write a name, which again, I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It ain't right though.
I mean, when I filled out my last big ballot, the big primary ballot, it took me all of 2 minutes at the very most from like open to close envelope. When I filled out my ballot for the local election with the 𝗏𝗏s and all the different choices, it probably took me like 3 hours to research each semi-choice, looking at their websites and trying to make some kind of you have to end up making some quick decision of well, what am I going to look for in this candidate? And like, what's the level of my political decision that I can get just from their website? And it's tough just to do that because like some of the websites are really easy to access and some of them you have to find because they're a school board member. And it's like hard to find information about some people that are running for school board that don't have backgrounds or histories or official positions somewhere. It's tough. But if you do the work, you will find the change in your communities and at least maybe be a little bit more aware of why the changes are happening or have some say in it. And when it doesn't go your way, I guarantee you will get more involved because you'll see why at that point.
Plus, those local officials are the ones, especially these younger cats, are the ones that end up in Senate later. That's how these motherfuckers got there. Those fools didn't start off at fucking running for Senate. They started off at some lower level position. They were a fucking sheriff somewhere, or they were a fucking chief of fucking whatever somewhere, or they were some fucking lower level local dude, whatever the fuck you even call them. My bad, y'all. I know representatives down here at this lower level, right? But they all started down here, and then they move up, and then they move up, and then as they get up, they start to get ambitious and this and that. And it's important that you try your best to vote motherfuckers in so that by the time they get up there, you get cats that are cool. Anyways, I slammed this beer.
I saw. You did a good job.
Did
it give you a bellyache?
No.
Do you need
it was
some
just,
Tums?
It
Like
hurts
that was
to
a
watch.
lot of acid, dude.
It was
that
a rush. It was a rush.
I told you should have dumped it. Like that's not an easy beer on your stomach, man. That's a lot of microbes you just dumped into your belly that might not have ever been there before.
Stop talking about my body in such ways with bellies and stuff like that. You talk about my stomach. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm talking about his temple, his body.
You talking about my gastrointestinal system. You know what I'm talking about?
My GI tract, my homie.
Shit, get it right. Nah, I'm a BI. First of all. Second of all, I don't even fuck with 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃 or whatever you was fucking with earlier.
Yeah, you do.
And
Well,
whatever this is,
biome
doesn't taste very good, but it doesn't taste like that, so I'm cool.
Yep. I didn't think you would like these. Well, and I was also a little disappointed at how sour this one was. I thought it was going to be a little bit more funky.
You said you expected this.
I expected it to be a wild ale, which can range from like super acidic to like super funky, which is going to be interesting when you get a beer like that. I already have one that I haven't stopped thinking about it since I had it. Like I had it maybe a month and a half ago, and I still haven't stopped thinking about that beer. I loved it so much. Oh, and I just heard
What's
this
it called?
brewery's. I think it's called Friend of a Friend of a Friend of a Friend, I think is the name of it. It's like this, but with peaches and also, but done in the Belgian tradition. Like it's what, like these people are fucking crazy. I've talked about them before.
Crazy.
But if I can get some, I'll bring some down. It's a hard beer to find. They're only open 8 hours a week from 12 to 8 on Saturdays in Longmont. The two brewers that run it both work at other breweries full time in town. One at Odd 13, one at Four Noses. But they make amazing beer. Amazing. From just the flight I had. And it's all changing and like it's crazy. Like I said, I haven't stopped thinking about that beer, but it's like I couldn't bring that beer on here just like this one.
Trash.
And have
anybody
like who cares or doesn't care about beer.
Because it tastes like garbage, I'm sure.
Yeah, you would. I mean, you probably won't like it, but I'm going to still bring it and make you drink it. And you'll probably say it's
deal.
I'm right. It tastes like garbage.
Can I read a review of it from Untapped?
Yes, please, go.
Oh, it's going to be harsh. Like, yeah, go for it.
Earthy funk has faded a bit and been replaced with the slightest beginnings of a vinegary character. Still good, but I'd drink it if cellaring.
That's what you wanted to read? I thought you were going to say something about a garbage and agree with me.
No, I took out all the N-words.
Oh. Now you're going to piss Steve off. That's his favorite part.
Yeah, there's no other comments.
Nitrogen?
A lot of 4 stars.
No, because Steve's all right.
Oh, I can't keep going. I don't want to make it count.
Yeah.
Funky is a flavor that I'm interested in trying. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah,
this
one, I don't give a fuck.
Like I said, this one is like level 5 that you're entering of like just the taste on like, and I would say this beer is like level 10. Like it's
this one's level 10.
If you can't eat blue cheese and enjoy that, this beer will like blow your senses out
Not
of the
gonna
water
lie, I
and
don't really
not
fuck
get
with
it.
blue cheese.
Yeah, so you like you
Sorry,
will
Ted.
immediately just be like your senses will be overloaded with that like flavor, and you're gonna just probably taste that, and you won't be able to taste the other shit going on. Even like the nice like peach bit of it that's like it like part of it is biting into. Oh, it's wonderful. It's like almost biting into a peach, but it's like like a peach right off the tree that. Oh, it's amazing. Like I said, I can't stop thinking about this beer, and I only had like 4 ounces of it. I loved it, but it's not a beer you can just walk into and be like, oh man, this is fucking great, because it's not like our American palate. It's not sweet. It's not easy. It's like I said, it's more of a European palate, and you enjoy like blue cheese and like more of those like funkier flavors and stuff like that. If you don't, you're going to immediately reject it because your taste buds are going to be like, nope, this is that, and I don't like it.
Does this look like a motherfucker that's having any kind of European food up in here besides cheeseburgers and French fries and whatever else Hot Pockets are made of?
Got me with the Hot
I'm gonna
Oh
need you
shit, I'm
to.
coughing, boy. I got the corona. Boy, somebody hand me a corona. Shit.
Steven, I'm gonna need you to bring in. I'm gonna put a challenge on you. When I say this next sentence, bring me the whatever beer that makes you think of. Really like modernist art that looks terrible, but apparently people love.
And you want me to translate that to a beer?
A beer.
Can we be clear that we're not talking about the label, but we're translating it to like
whatever
the
your
actual
mind is,
liquid
whatever.
inside?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you decide.
Because you guys love branding and labels and stuff
sure.
like that.
Whatever
I just
you
want to be
decide.
clear. You're trying to get a
This is
metaphor
Guy
into
Spencer's beer fucking corner.
Guy
Not
Spencer's
Justin's,
beer corners.
not Erick's. Guy Spencer. Not Steven's.
We're talking about the liquid.
Guy
though.
Spencer's.
Not the branding, not the outside, because that's a whole
Esquire.
nother level. And you could get a beer that is way different. But tell me what you want again.
I forgot.
Well, you just lost your Esquire.
Good thing it was recorded and I can hear it again.
We will just loop that bit back. No, I think it was whatever. Like a modernist, like or postmodernist, like
What
piece
shit
of like
but
painting.
people love?
That's just like a white canvas, but sells for like $40 million. But you also don't got to spend like a grip and a half, like you were talking about for like.
I don't think I can
beer.
bring those beers on. I don't got that kind of capitals. Like
Whatever.
those beers run in the hundreds of dollars, you guys, and it's
Oh my
stupid.
God, we're talking about
Beers
normal
that
beers.
expensive?
If you're looking for a beer that
Do
is
normal
shit,
stuff.
but people are like, oh my God, it's so great. It's the beers that do their shit on the secondary markets that are from these breweries that put out like special club beers that they only make a couple hundred, and people are part of these clubs and they sell them on a secondary market. Just like sneakers. Sneakers are a perfect example. If you know how sneakers work and how people like do that secondary market shit,
I know
same
how to tie my
thing.
shoes,
Same
yeah.
thing with beer. And so beer that's shit, beer that's absolute shit, but has like a hype or like people are like, oh my God, it'll have like a 4.75 on Untapped from all those fucking people who are trying to bump the ratings up to get more money for their beer that they're trying to flip on the secondary market. So when I say I can't afford those beers, it's because they flip in anywhere from like $100 to like $1,000.
Well, we're not talking about those ones.
All right,
We're talking
never
about do
mind.
some normal shit.
I'm just gonna say
$25 or less.
the best beer that you can bring for $25 less. I was gonna say like 10.
I don't know what best means.
Oh my God,
All
you're
right.
the beer dude. This is your fucking Guy Spencer.
Doctor.
You talk about all of this shit. You don't fucking tell me that you don't know the best fucking beer for $25. That's bullshit. That's George W. bullshit.
No, it's not. Just
Yes, it is. You go there and you take $25 and you bring us the coolest fucking beer, whatever you think is the best. And then we'll fucking drink it and we'll probably say it's trash. But that's not the point. The point is that you still know the best beer for $25. After all that shit you talk, Come on.
It's such a boring way to think about beer. Like best, like
Oh my
fucking
God.
preferences. It's boring. I bring the most interesting beer that like I go to the liquor store. I look what's available
That
at the time.
shit was interesting for sure.
And I look for interesting beer. Like I don't have interest in best or like claiming because there's so many styles and so many like there's different areas of where shit can taste and like where you can go with styles and like there's just so much out there. I don't give a fuck about best. I honestly don't. And I like interesting beer and I like shit that pushes norms or maybe stays into traditions. And like I bring beer and right now I'm just like showing you some beer. Most of the shit I bring is all local of just like to see what Colorado's doing. But I'll bring other beers that are more like historically just like they're simpler beers or ones that are based. Like I don't know what you want. Like it doesn't fucking matter. Like I'm gonna just buy the fucking beer that I find interesting at the liquor store when I go there.
I got it. Instead of a prompt for the beer.
Yeah, fuck your prompts.
What about a situation? What beer? Think about this.
So disappointed.
It's a Tuesday night. It's raining. You're watching Jeopardy. What beer do you want to drink? Bring that in.
It's easy. PBR.
Oh, God damn it.
Like, I'm fucking watching Jeopardy. I like Jeopardy, but like I'm just going to drink a PBR.
All right, cool. Here you go. Now, all of a sudden, there's this time machine. Boom. Does a little warp thing. Boom, bang. And you get this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to escort Anthony Bourdain to a restaurant for a dish and a beer of your choosing. What would you give Anthony Bourdain? Start with the beer.
I don't know. You're just going to fucking yell. I don't even want to answer this question.
Because you're going to say, I don't know what he's going to like. I'd have to text him and ask him his whole life story. No, you just take some shit that's bomb.
Told y'all he's going to yell.
Fuck. Well, you're so frustrating. You do all this shit about beer. You've been doing this shit for like 8 episodes. Going deep into these beers. I hear shit about these beers I ain't never heard before. You was over there talking about the Corona, reading the ingredients list off the back, telling me everything. It's life story, who grew the first Vienna fucking coffee bean that went into it or some shit. I don't remember. I was trying to listen. It's hard. You know so much about it. You're the motherfucker who knows about it. Like, yo, what's some shit I know? Right? What's some shit I know? Oh, you know this and that. You know a little bit of this or that. I don't know. Can't think of off the top of my head what I know. Because I'm so frustrated by what you know. And you know all this shit about beer, but you can't tell me what the best one is for $25. It's so frustrating. And not only that, then I ask you, all right, well, what would just be the one that you would take Anthony Bourdain? Nothing. Hypothetical. He's not even here to judge you. Like, fuck. Nothing? You're the beer guy.
God damn, Justin. All I'm saying is I don't think I would just take him to a beer. I'd want to take him to a brewery. That's all.
What brewery would you have to give him? You don't have the choice. You can take him to any brewery. You get a beer from any brewery, fresh from that brewery. You're requesting it. They're bringing to you, knowing it's going to Anthony Bourdain. It's their best special. They're gonna pour it up exactly how it's supposed to be done. Serve it exactly how it's supposed to be done.
Okay.
Boom. All that's out of the table now.
Sure.
Again, we're speaking hypotheticals here, Stephen. Yeah. Fuck. Fucking Robin Williams, meet me in goddamn imagination land for a moment.
All right. I would probably just drink Pliny the Elder.
Pliny the Elder. I don't even know what that means. That sounds like a fucking Harry Potter character that somebody brings up in one of them things where you're like, oh shit, that wasn't a real one in the movie, and then you find out in the book somebody mentions it on page 362 of goddamn the Deathly Hallows, and you're like, goddamn, I had no idea this was even a person.
Yeah. Hey, I thought that was
Pliny
a spell.
Manor. What was her name?
Pliny the Elder or Pliny the Elder. I think Pliny.
What is that shit? What's it say on the tap room or whatever you guys look at?
No, I'm on their website. It's Russian River Brewing Company.
That's right. Shout out.
Where's that at?
California.
In Russia? Oh, I was gonna say, damn, that would have been bold if this political ass dude chose a Russian company for his best beer to give Anthony Bourdain. Now they're like, damn, this boy. Contradictory, and well, I guess the beer don't have nothing to do with nothing, but it just would strike me a surprised. Why are you looking at me like I would like that's a bad thing? I wouldn't be surprised if you wouldn't.
I don't know. I think the answer that you were looking for from your prompt is just not the answer I still could give, and so you're gonna just be disappointed with this one too. Like,
no, I don't. That wasn't it at all. I
just
wanted
think
you to
the
choose
best
a
beer
favorite.
is so
a best.
silly. Like it's so subjective to say because like what I think is the best beer, you would hate. Like everything I think is good in beer, you hate, and so. When you say what's the best, like what the fuck does that even mean? Is it the best to you, the best to me, the best to the world? Like if you want the #1 rated beer in the world, we can look on Untapped and see what the fuck the world says.
Nah, I wasn't
And
worried about the world. I'm worried about Guy
Like,
Spencer's Beer Corner. You're the one getting all extra about all kinds of other stuff.
I just don't know what best means. Like bring the best beer. Like if we're at the liquor
Your
store,
favorite, the best.
I like a lot of beer. Like if you want to hear my best beer as the beer I drink the most, I'd bring PBR. Like that's the beer I probably have by volume the most of. Is it my favorite? No.
That's not what best means.
But best is like the beer that I go to as like, oh man, this beer is, I always love it. I always drink it. Like I'll go for it. Like I don't have a best beer.
That's
like beer
not true.
changes. It's just.
That's the cheap one. That's the
It's
one
like
that's
saying,
affordable to drink.
Pick your favorite
Like, they can-
mango. Like
if
pick
you're-
your favorite mango that you ever eat. And that you could somehow get that same mango again.
Granny Smith.
Myth. I don't know what to do.
It's just.
I'm
best
sorry.
just makes
I'm
no
sorry
sense.
I brought it up. My bad. I thought you were the beer guy. I thought you were. I thought you were Guy Spencer Esquire. Turns out you're just fucking guy. You're just this fucking guy.
I'm just a guy that likes beer. That's it. Happen to be named Guy as well. Dr.
Man.
Guy Spencer.
Tell
Does that
me
make it
again
Guy
about where
squared?
the beans from Vienna came from for the 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 go.
Peace.